Here with one of my students, Brandon. Brandon, how long have you been at the school now?
For almost 2 months now.
2 months, okay, so fairly new. And I guess, what's your experience been so far at the school?
Well, at the school, it's more than what I expected it to be. Coming in my first class, I have previous knowledge of Taekwondo.
Right.
I've been around martial arts my whole life growing up, but I never had this kind of style or etiquette
Right.
before. It's very different compared to the different styles that I've learned and taught. It's very traditional, which is what I love. The other schools I've been to, they're great for what it is, but it's not from the roots.
Right.
It's like spread out and it's all kind of like in a ball. But here it's when you walk through the door, you feel the vibes and just the aura around this place is very soothing.
Right. You have a big Taekwondo background, right? So do I. I did Taekwondo from since I was 6 years old to, I was, 17, 18 years old. So, did it for a while, and this is one of the main reasons why, Nimpo is one of the main reasons why I didn't go back to Taekwondo, because I found this first. When I got back into martial arts, because I took a little bit of a hiatus. I guess in your own words, what makes this different, compared to like a regular karate school or Taekwondo school, besides what you just mentioned before?
There's a lot that's into it. It's more strict, but also it's fun.
Right.
But it's very, like I said, it's very traditional, and there's no easy way in or out. It's very one way. This is how you do it, and there's no easy way to do it. You train hard. The etiquette you have to study. It's a lot, but I mean it's what you have to do.
Right. I guess talk about more like technique wise, like like I know in Taekwondo, there's a lot of sparring, and a lot of drills, a lot of punching drills, kicking drills, stuff like that. I guess what makes Ninja Abingdon different than most like karate schools? What have you worked on here besides kicking and punching and sparring?
Well, for instance, like with Taekwondo, it's very distance fighting.
Right.
Like you have to keep your opponent away from you.
Right.
But in Nimpo, what's so different about it and what I love is that you're up close to the person. Like if somebody comes at you, Taekwondo is great, but if they're too close, that's all you can't do nothing.
Right.
But in Nimpo, you teach how to use your opponent's body against them, get inside their head.
Right.
Like Nimpo, there's no rules, so
right.
You do what you gotta do to survive.
Right.
And what we learn here is you take those techniques and and you use them.
Right.
But Taekwondo, what I'm used to is it's all point based.
Right.
It's more like Olympic style.
Right. It's more of a like a sport.
Right.
Yeah.
But in Ninja Abingdon, though, what I found out is it's more hands-on. Like it's what you would use out in the real world in the street.
Right.
Like your snare. If somebody comes at me, for instance, I already know exactly how I can counteract that.
Right. And I guess talk about, let some people know, like, I guess, because we don't just do Nimpo and Jiu-Jitsu here, we also do weapons. So mention some of the weapons you've worked with so far. You've only been here 2 months, right? So mention some of the weapons you've been introduced to already.
Okay. What's cool about you mentioned that, growing up, I've always been looking for a place who taught traditional weapons, katana, sword style training. I looked over the internet and there's places that are just way out where I live at.
Right.
I remember one night I was just going through random Facebook and stuff, and I saw an ad pop up, and I started looking into this website, Ninja Abingdon.
Right.
And at first I was a little like, how would you say, like, uneasy about this place.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, I should try.
Well, what made you get that feeling? Because I'm sure a lot of people get that type of feeling as well.
I mean, I've been doing Taekwondo my whole life.
Right.
And just I've heard ninjutsu training stuff was intense, and that's what I wanted to. I like to get pushed beyond the limits.
Right.
But then I was going through, and I saw you guys did weapons training,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw you guys doing the katana and whatnot. And
Right.
That's what I love. So I finally found a place that would actually teach it. But then I saw where it was at, and it sounded long, like it was far away, but it
Right.
really wasn't.
Yeah.
So I was at work on I think it was my lunch break, and I went to Google Maps and put the address in. It was only like 8 minutes from work. So I'm like, I found a place that was really close. You taught everything that I was looking for.
Right.
And so I stopped in, tried it, loved it. And
Cool.
But
So,
my first experience with weapons training was amazing.
Nice.
Like I knew I would love it, but it was beyond my comprehension.
So you dabbled in katana already. What else have you dabbled in? What other weapons?
I'm still trying to remember all the names.
With the bow staff,
the
because
bow-
it's
the-
sitting right there on
yeah,
the floor,
yeah,
so
yeah, that's
behind
fine.
you,
Yeah.
and I know that's yours. So bow staff, you trained with, long bow, 6-foot staff and short as well. What else? The other night, I think we did shuriken training. So
awesome.
ninja stars.
Yeah.
We do a lot of knife. You dabbled in knife. What else? Oh, any other weapons that stick out?
It's kind of like a short blade. It's longer than a dagger, but it's when you have it concealed. So when an opponent like grabs like your sword or whatnot, you have a hidden blade that you can use.
Are you talking about like a short sword, like a wakizashi? Or? Okay, yeah. So wakizashi. What else? What else have you done here? Is that pretty much it?
I think that's it. I haven't used the rope yet.
So you haven't used the rope?
No,
okay. The
I'm
kusari.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
right there.
So 2 months you've already dabbled in 4 or 5 different weapons. I guess what would you say to someone that is thinking about coming here, but might be a little scared? Like do you think we push people too hard? Do you think what would you say to them? Like, hey, like if they're thinking about coming in and trying it out.
I would say you definitely want to have an open mind. I'm sure it's very different than what most people are used to.
Right.
It's very traditional.
Right.
I know a lot of people, they try to get to different martial arts because they see UFC online and stuff like that, really flashy stuff.
Right.
But that's great, but it's not like it's not from the roots.
Right.
When you come in here, it's to a certain point, it's very intimidating because you hear a lot of people smacking the mats and a lot of yelling, and to new people that's kind of makes them a little scared.
Right.
But once you get to actually talk to senseis and senpais and whatnot, they're very welcoming.
Right.
So it's kind of like a sleeping bear.
Right.
Kind of. It looks scary at first, so once you get in and actually get to know like the bear, it's all soft and cuddly, and it's
Nice. That's perfect.
That's
a perfect.
That's kind of how I look at it when I came in. I'm like, wow, like this is really intense. But I got to talk to
right.
just Senpai Sydney and you, and I'm like, okay. And you guys really worked with me.
Right.
They didn't just throw me to the wolves and say, here you go, learn yourself.
Right.
This is one-on-one, and everybody's really welcome.
Right, exactly. And we're a big family,
right.
You know what I mean? And we're a semi-private school. I don't accept everyone here. You know what I mean? Not everyone's going to be a good fit, you know what I mean? But we just want people with good hearts and have an open mind and are ready to learn, it is, a little intimidating. I remember when I first started this art, I was a little intimidated because, again, I also heard that ninjutsu training was very hard. But you only get pushed as much as you can take. So if I know you're a great student, I'm going to push you extra hard, but I know you can take it. You know what I mean? But if you have an injury or something, and you can't be pushed that hard because you might have an injured knee or something like that. I'm only going to push you so far so that you don't, you know, re-injure your knee or make it worse or whatever. You know what I mean? Everyone learns at their own pace here. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, exactly. That's what I love.
Yeah. So
it's like for me, I'm very hands-on. Like I'm good with the techniques and stuff, but some things it takes me a little slower to memorize, like the Japanese and stuff.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I get it, but it's not like you guys are like trying to like, all right, let's hammer it down. You need to be up here. It's like you guys understand, but you still push me.
right.
Like, you find like that balance that works for each person. You work like that.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
I love it.
Awesome. Cool. Well, there you have it. If you're thinking about coming in, you know, and kind of scared a little bit, you don't know what to expect, just come in, try it out. We're very welcoming here. We're a big family, and we would love to, you know, keep adding family members to our family. So give us a call, 410-670-7666. Talk to you soon.